I forgot what creative nugget I was about to drop here. It was really good.
Well, we were talking about the concerts, yeah.
Yeah, just everybody like recording videos of everything. And I wish there's got to be a statistic out there somewhere where it's like, how many of those videos that people recorded did they actually go back and watch?
Yeah,
right.
I mean, it's like that meme that I post every 4th of July that says, "This is your reminder that no one will ever watch these firework videos you're about to make."
Right.
Ever.
It's true.
Ever.
Yeah.
Even when they post them to social media, I don't only watch those. It's like I've seen fireworks, and it's better to see it in person than on social media.
I think I posted that 8 straight years now.
I think it's something that's a good, solid reminder too. Like just sit back and enjoy them. You know.
Yeah.
We all know where you are. You know, if you really want us to know where you are, put the location thing. Watching fireworks at Stamp, and then let's move on. You know?
Yep.
Welcome to the Gen X Journey podcast. Dive into all things important to Gen Xers, from advice on aging parents, expert interviews, product reviews, and heartfelt conversations. So put down the joystick, grab your Walkman, dust off your old yearbooks, and welcome to the Gen X Journey.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Gen X Journey podcast. My name is Keith Abbott, along with my friends Noel Kirsch and Steve McKelkey, and we have a really fun, from-the-cuff conversation that we're going to be doing today. And I'm going to turn it over to Steve to tell us a little bit about the idea that he came up with.
Awesome. Well, first of all, really nice voice there to start us off there, Keith.
Thank you.
That sounded really good.
I turned the buttery filter on.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Really? You have a buttery filter?
I don't know, but it sounded fun.
It sounded like butter.
It sounded great. I wish
I imagine it like a hot cinnamon roll with like this big pat of butter on top, and it's like oozing all over the place.
Now I want to go to Cinnabon. Thanks.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. We were just. Is this our cheat? Tomorrow's our cheat day, Noel. We're going to Cinnabon.
Yeah.
Hey,
what's
if you're
Cinnabon?
cheat, go to Cinnabon.
Yeah.
What's Cinnabon?
No, I said if you're going to cheat.
Keith has to go buy a cinnamon rolls in the can from the local.
Yeah, I do. It's going to be one of them grands. Already expired because they just finally got to our city. Anyway, our city. That was funny to say. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead. Continue.
Well, this conversation is a perfect segue into really exactly what this show is about. It's really about nothing. It's not quite the Seinfeld of podcasts, but
it's up there.
But today is about the lost art of being bored.
Heck yes.
And to really sort of set the premise, we grew up without phones in our hand. Video games didn't even happen till our more formidable years as teenagers or early, almost preteens. But Noel was 3 when video games were invented.
Totally.
I wasn't going to say that. I've played that card too many times. I get it.
But, really we were thinking about, gosh, we've lost the ability to just not entertain ourselves, not to spend time without having our phone in our hand or a laptop, in front of us or the TV on. And that's not how we were raised. Mm-hmm. And that certainly wasn't how our life was, didn't resemble our life, growing up as kids, especially. So today's, our podcast is exactly about that. Nothing. I mean, how do we entertain ourselves? What do we do to spend the day? And honestly, I think we're going to have to spend a little time sort of just thinking through this a little bit, because it's hard to remember what exactly we used to do.
It is. And when we were talking about this, I was trying to think about, okay, so there's different places that we had to come up with ways to entertain ourselves. One, road trips in the car or on the plane. One, just what do we do on a Saturday afternoon after the cartoons are over, which we've already had an episode about Saturday morning cartoons. What do we do after besides getting on our phones, right? And then also, like, what do we do at the playground? I would suffice to say a lot of playgrounds in high school and junior high right now are people looking down at their phones instead of doing something fun. So let's start I would start from, I think the most boredom I remember was on the cars, on a road trip in the car.
No
So
doubt.
I would start there. What did you all do instead when you didn't have a phone? I mean, I know before phones, we even had, like, our kids growing up had the DVD players in the car. We didn't have that.
Yeah.
There's no way we could haul around a Betamax and a TV that we couldn't even pick up off our floor. So what did you all do in the cars to pass the time? And it could be yourself. It could be with your siblings, with your folks. What did you all do?
We were a big Mad Lib family. We have always had. My mom was always go stock up on Mad Libs, and we had the best time, like, just doing Mad Libs on the road. And we did have the electronic games too, like the electronic football. I don't know if you guys remember that, but I just remember my older brother Steve used to always play football, and until my parents got tired of hearing that annoying beeping sound, and then we had to sit in silence and stare at the road and just use our imaginations to, like, fill the time. I mean,
Absolutely.
it was
Okay.
sometimes.
So for some of our younger generation listeners, explain what a Mad Lib is. A lot of people don't. Our generation totally knows this. Everybody understands it. But what if you didn't? How would you explain a Mad Lib?
Yeah, it's a great question, and I did take for granted that I did not know what a Mad Lib was, but it's a great question. Basically, Mad Lib was you would get a Mad Lib where you had to the person that you have two people. One person is asking
It was a book
for like a noun or a verb or a pronoun or adverb or whatever.
Yeah,
or
pronouns are different than the ones they would use today, by the way. Just clarify.
Yes,
sorry, go ahead.
Good point. But basically, the person that's filling in the Mad Lib is telling them what noun, verb. I need a noun, I need a verb, or whatever. And when the best Mad Libs are when you use, like, crazy nouns. Like butt was always a popular one.
Absolutely.
There'd always be a fart theme to it. In almost every single one, until we got in trouble for that, and then it was we had to come up with something else. But or we'd make fun of somebody in the car, like it was always like a theme to our answers. And then after all the blanks are filled in, then the person that was taking all the words would read the story with the person's verbs and their words inserted into the story. And it's hilarious. I mean, especially when some of them are done really well. I remember a few of them that we did that we read like 3 or 4 times, and every time it got funnier somehow. But good way to pass the time. I still think they're a thing. Like, I think for some reason, I've seen them in, like, magazine racks and stuff like that at the airport.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think I've seen them on, like, dollar store shelves too, like when we're trying to get road trip kits together for kids. And so here's what I think we should do. I mentioned this in our chat while we're talking, but I think after this episode goes live, we're going to do a Mad Lib with our Facebook listeners. So we're going to ask for a noun, and we're going to pick the best noun, the best verbs, and anything, and we're going to find a Mad Lib story. And then after everybody has completed it, or we're going to sort of pick the best ones out of each topic, and we're going to read the story. Please be clean.
I love it.
Yeah.
So I have to
tell you, kid. I got to tell my Mad Lib story real quick. I remember as a kid, when you were the person asking for the noun, the verb, adjective, whatever it was so hard to get to reading the story, because it would be so like you would anticipate how funny it was before you even got a chance to read it. And just like, I remember, like, being in tears trying, I could barely make like 3 lines in before, like, they're like, stop laughing so we can understand what you're saying.
Yeah. The reader was the best part of the whole thing, I thought.
Absolutely. It really was.
Because everybody else has no idea why you're laughing so hard.
Yeah.
So great.
Yeah.
I have to tell you this story when my family was trying to do a Mad Lib once, and my one of my really good friends, you remember John, Steve, from Spring Break that year. Anyway, so he and my mom and dad and I, we were doing something on a road trip with a couple other friends of ours, and my mom could not come up with a noun. And so John Evans just like, just think of a noun, just something like syphilis. And I just out of nowhere, he comes up with syphilis. and ever since that, every year we would say, just come up with syphilis, okay? Just for some reason, that was the word that he, of all the billions of words in the earth, that's the one he came up with as an example. It was great.
That is awesome.
Road trips were always agonizing to me as a kid because I remember I would always be sitting behind where my mom was sitting, and so I could see the dashboard and speedometer of our car. And back then the speed limit was 55, and my dad would drive 54 the whole way to our destination. I would be psycho. By the time we got to where we were going, I couldn't get out of the car fast enough. I was like, can't believe we drove 54 the whole way here.
Because 55 would have had a measurable difference.
Exactly.
And then my mom was equally frustrated because my brother and I, we burped and farted the whole way on every single road trip. And looking back, I mean, it wasn't a good experience for my mom, but that was
Keith, as a only child, there was nobody to blame. Like at least,
well, hey,
Steve
at least I had my dad. God bless him. At least I had my dad.
That is true.
My dad was a child at heart, so it was a good thing. So, oh my gosh, that's a lot of CH4 on road trips.
We often played that I Spy. Red, I Spy, whatever, and it was horrible when my brother was playing would say, I spy something red, and I'll be like, is it that car? Is it, we never guessed it because I was convinced he always changed what the item was.
I believe it. Yeah, I believe it. I think every little sibling did that. Like as soon as it was guessed, he would like, I don't want to guess so quick, so I'm going to change it to this other thing. Yeah. And you could always catch him because it would be, you go back to something you said before and he's like, that's it. And you're like, no, you changed it, So
it was always like, was it that red building we saw 2 hours ago?
Yeah.
Yes.
We quickly gave up I Spy on the road trips because by the time you figured it out, it had passed like 5 miles before. So we did I Spy in restaurants waiting on. There's another place to kill boredom without a phone, waiting on your order in a restaurant.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so we played I Spy waiting on orders in restaurants more than we did in the car for that reason. Did you all ever do the license plate game where you tried to get on a road trip every license plate from every state?
Yeah, sure did. I think we did that at some point. Yeah.
I think we started out, we'd get 10 and then we'd move on. We're never getting Hawaii. And then we got Hawaii. It was weird. Like, how did that come?
I think we invented this game. I don't know. We call it Time and Place. And basically what you do is you pick a spot like further down the road, and then you figure out like what time it's going to be whenever you pass that one spot. So it could be like, you see that water tower up there, it'll be like 7:30 whenever we pass it. And then you have to and then the person that guesses it closest to the actual time, like wins. And then there's not really any prize or anything, but that person gets to pick the next thing that you guess against. And
interesting.
It's amazing how much time it passes because you're focusing on one point. And then as soon as you get there, it's like a goal. You reach for the next one, and you're like, "Okay, what's this? Who's picking next?" And,
okay, I can handle that.
It's fun.
Yeah. It's a little timeline. It's like a little time ticking down to get the answer before it's too late. That's cool. I like that.
That's fun.
Another game that we played, like either at restaurants or on road trips, was so we would always so the left column would be the alphabet A through Z, and then we would ask somebody or everybody in the car to come up with a word. And then on the right side, like, let's just say the first word was good. And so next to the A would be a G, next to the B would be an O, next to the C would be an O, then next to the D would be a D. Anyway, and you'd go and get words all the way until you got to Z, all the way down the list. And then your goal was to come up with those, to use the two letters as initials for a famous person. So like for A and G, who would be somebody that you could say was who is a famous person with the letters A, first initial A, last initial G. And it was basically, we had to get through the whole list and try to find initials for everybody. It got hard when you got to the Q's and the X's and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know? But it was a fun game to play too, to kill some time.
Yeah,
Very cool.
that is cool.
So
Yeah.
Lots of stationary ideas, and I would love for our listeners to tell us one of the things that they invented too, because man, that'd be fun. So what about like on the school playground? What did y'all do at recess when the coach was done? He was going to smoke on the blacktop. You know, how about it like after lunch? Like, you know, what did y'all do to entertain yourselves besides kill yourself on the 15-story tall monkey bars?
Yeah.
It's weird. Like, I don't remember a lot of time in the playground. I don't know why. Wow. I know we did it. I was always a small kid, so I was like, I wanted to stay away from the big kids. I didn't get beat up, bullied, or whatever. But,
right.
I wish I had my size earlier in life. It would have been a little more assertive,
more dominant.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's like I remember just tearing myself up on like the jungle gym, and you know, burning the hell out of myself going down the slide. Especially, they just made them different back then. They weren't designed for safety or comfort.
They were not. They were designed for speed and death. That's
it.
Yeah, it was a thrill ride.
It was. I mean, you had the side rails that were 1.5 inches on each side. You know, it's like if you went over that, I'm sorry, you just don't know how to go straight. That's all there is to it.
These days, they'd have you sign a disclaimer, to go down the slide.
Right.
But we played kickball quite a bit on the playground, and that was always fun until it was boys and girls, and it was always fun until you threw the ball and it hit a girl in the face, and then the game takes a turn. You become a villain, which is great. And then we did this is younger days, but going on to the seesaws until people figured out how to jump off of them, and then you slam your butt to the ground. Those are fun. Is probably again illegal these days, but those were fun times. We played dodgeball. Basically every game because we had PE as a class, and then we would have a recess time, and so a lot of times we went out for recess. We would play the same game that we played during PE, or try to. But it was fun. We did a lot of games. We had a big playground to kind of spread out on and stuff. So,
so did you ever do those, like, there were like fundraisers where if your classroom sold a certain amount of stuff, you would get a prize. Mm-hmm. So I don't remember what we were selling. Who cares, right? But I remember one of the prizes that we could win was this Frisbee, and it was a whistle Frisbee. Like each one of there were four points, lined up in a square on this Frisbee, that they were circles, and they had this like slit in the circle. And when you would throw the Frisbee, you could hear this as it was going. And we ended up, this thing was like the idol of third grade. Okay. Like, I don't even know who owned it. Somebody did, but ended up, we would play Frisbee golf with this or Frisbee football with this thing. So we would go out on the soccer field, and it was great because you could run like you're playing football, but it was more like rugby. Like, it never stopped to set, right? You just went, but you could run and you could hear this thing whistling towards you. So to look to grab it. And I'm telling you, that was one of the most fun experiences until I hit Chuck. He was the quarterback and very strong, and I fell flat on my face and looked up, and he was looking for the next person to pass it to. I remember that. God bless you, Chuck. You're a good man. But anyway, same with the size. The difference is Steve grew, I didn't. But let's go on. Those like you say, those field games were fun. They passed a lot of time, and I really don't know why most of us don't have some more stunted something because of the damage we all inflicted on each other on those turfs.
Not a playground thing, but my neighborhood, all the kids, we invented this game called hide and go basketball. And it was like hide and go seek, but basically what you had to do is you had to hide all the basketballs. And so like there'd be like, if there was 8 people playing, there were 7 basketballs.
Okay.
And if we didn't have enough basketballs, we'd use a soccer ball or a football or whatever. And so we'd hide them in the bushes, and we had like rules. It couldn't be like so many houses down, past so many houses down. So
Mm-hmm.
so the person that had to do the counting and go seeking everybody would hide the balls, and then everybody else. Then once we got done, it's all right. Go find the balls, and then you would count down. I think we counted down from like 20. So like everybody's running around trying to find these balls, and it was basically like a version of hide and go seek and smear the the old.
I was going to ask
keyword.
if y'all ever played that. I didn't know
Yeah.
how to bring it up. I'm so proud of that. I really have been wanting to bring that up so bad.
I think it's a universal thing. I think it was
hallelujah.
So
this is one of those things like how did that game travel from schoolyard to schoolyard across the country? Like,
everybody played it, and it had nothing to do with the word.
Yeah,
it had to do with just
like
destroying people.
They're not teaching him that in PE. I mean,
right?
But somehow we knew.
Everybody knew. That is awesome. I wanted to bring that up. I'm so glad you brought that up.
Yeah, you bet. So the way to be safe in this game was once you found the basketball, like
he's trying to stay on the topic.
You either had to make a basket to be safe, or otherwise you got the hell beat out of you. It was so sweet to, like, if somebody missed a shot, then you just hammer the crap out of them.
Beat the crap out of them.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Oh man, that's so great. I love that you brought. I'm so happy. Because all the time we've been discussing this, literally that game was the first game that popped in my head, and I'm like, I don't know how I can bring this up in this day and age. I can't say that. So those of you who are listening understand. That's all I'm going to say. You totally understand what we're talking about. And
we play baseball with a soccer ball as the ball. So like we would, throw the soccer ball or throw the dodgeball and then use a baseball bat to like hit it, which is great until the person hitting it wasn't strong enough to like hold the bat, because it bounces back a little bit. And on 2 different occasions, one of them was my friend we were playing, and my neighbor. And then my little brother got bashed in the head too with the bat, and he had to go to the ER. The other one probably should have, but he didn't. Had a gigantic goose egg on his head from where the bat smacked him. But
that's not good.
He stopped playing it after that.
There's always isn't that the way though? There's always an abrupt stop to any of these games, and it's usually an injury or something tragic. It's never just, hey, that was fun. It was either a car got in the way, a parent told us to stop, or somebody got hurt. That's how every game ended on the field every time.
Yeah.
Or a coach.
Yep. That's funny. That's funny.
What did you do to pass the time when there was no one else around? It was rainy day. What did you come up with, or what did you do?
I remember I read a lot, not to be lame, but like
that's lame.
That's pretty lame, dude.
Yeah. I mean, at least you get to say, look, I read the jokes on a bazooka bubble gum.
Exactly,
Steve. No, I'm proud of you.
I can't remember the last time I've read something.
What did you like to read? No, let's go back to serious. What kind of stuff did you read? Did you enjoy comics? Did you have real books?
Those old Twisted Plot books.
Oh, are those the ones like to choose your own adventure where you have to decide what page?
Yeah, like you would read a chapter and then it would get to like you would choose like option A, go to page 33.
Yes, I love those.
Yeah, I read those like crazy.
Yeah,
and I would always reread them to go through the different versions. of the stories.
I would say that was the one time I actually truly enjoyed reading. I loved those. You're absolutely right. Those were so good. Awesome.
Yeah, those were good.
Yeah.
I read all the Hardy Boys books. Did you guys ever read those?
Yeah.
Time to time. Yeah.
Those are always good.
That's right.
Did y'all ever prank call people?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was thinking about stuff I did to pass the time. I would just call people.
I mean, you figure that was there was no caller ID. There was there wasn't even star 69 at the point where they'd call it back. None of that. And so
all fun and games until star 69 came along.
And then it just went downhill. Yeah,
killed that
caller ID.
Absolutely,
caller ID.
There used to be this thing we call it chipmunking, where it's like an option where you can dial like a sequence and then dial their phone number whenever the answer, you hear kick, 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 kick. And it would make people so mad for some reason, because it's probably because we did it relentlessly, like we just worked through the phone book. But like we would always chipmunk, a neighbor that lived behind us, you hear, "Whoever's doing that, stop!"
That's awesome. I've never heard of that one.
Yeah,
Y'all have heard the one where you tell a person to put the phone in a paper bag because they're blowing out the lines. Have y'all heard this one?
no.
Oh my God, this is something my stepbrother did growing up. Is he called this person and said, ma'am, I'm with the phone company, and we're needing to blow out the lines today, and so what we need you to do is take all the phones in your house and put them in paper bags, because when we blow the lines out, though, we don't want the dust to get all over your house. It was like one of his friend's moms. And he went over to her house, and she had paper bags over all.
That's a new one. I have never heard of that.
Great.
That is good.
Oh my gosh, man.
You cannot have that kind of fun just trying to find the right app. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. Oh my gosh.
There's no replacement for that.
Okay, so serious, did y'all ever try a Ouija board?
No.
Yeah. I just
really.
I remember doing it in junior high school in the band hall.
Oh yeah.
And I was getting so freaked out that we had to, could never keep playing more than
5 minutes.
Yeah.
I was freaked out until I looked at the box and it was made by Parker Brothers. I'm like, okay, I think I'll be all right. This is not something that was found in the basement in Transylvania. Parker Brothers bought it on the Walmart shelf. Bought it on the Walmart shelf. I'll be all right.
Yeah.
Those were. I remember how serious we used to get. It'd be so quiet. We just if there's any sound. Oh, it's moving. What's it moving? And it would come up with something like HK3, 4, K2. I'm like, oh, what does it mean? It means the nerve that our fingers got tired of holding it still. But anyway, it was good.
I'm trying to think of other things. I like to build toy model cars, helicopters, and stuff. It's I had a ton of those.
The art of modeling is we went to. So there's do y'all have hobby towns? Do y'all have those in your area?
No.
Okay. Well, there's one in Lubbock, and right around the corner from where my son-in-law and daughter and granddaughter live. And so we decided, let's go in there the other day. And I am telling you, they had so many cool models in there. And that's where I showed you the pictures of the RC cars, the ones that we did. So they had a bunch of those in there. But I was like, man, I loved modeling. I think that was fun to do. And I've got a bunch of the paints and stuff. I bought a bunch of the paints because I'm like, because I have this 3D printer now, and I'm like, maybe I could do a different spin on it and 3D print something and paint it and do that kind of stuff. So I'm going to try that. I'll let you know how it turns out.
I was always seeing playing, shooting basketball constantly.
That's not a surprise.
And not a surprise at all. But
yeah, that's good stuff.
But I wish I could have been taller when I was playing all the time, because I was
could have been a different story.
5'1" until my senior year. But
man,
5'3".
How many games of horse did our generation play collectively? That would be a thing to find out. Oh my gosh,
a lot.
I can't tell you how many board days we had. Did y'all have I know, Steve, you had a basketball hoop outside of your house. We did. Noel, did y'all too? Yeah. I can't tell you how many days of boredom was just okay, let's bounce the ball, figure out what comes up. That whole nothing but net. Okay, we've talked about this, the Larry Bird thing, right? And I believe it resonated so much with our generation because we all did that at our house somewhere, and a lot of it had to do with horse and all this kind of stuff, playing this game. Yeah. It's like, how relatable was that they were doing it to the NBA level,
Yep.
We had neighbors that complained that my brother and I would shoot hoops till midnight. And I remember being out in the driveway and the neighbor walking over and just, chewing out me and my brother. My mom and dad came outside and said, we'd rather them play basketball till midnight than drink and do drugs like the rest of the kids do till midnight.
Yeah.
And,
that's a good rebuttal.
Yeah. I mean, it's true. I mean, that was the safe way to go. They knew where you were. They knew you were safe. You're doing some innocent fun.
Yeah.
People, neighbors, that compared to some of the things that I know neighbors do these days, it's just not even the same. Like, we have kids that are playing soccer, and every once in a while a soccer ball will get in our yard and all this kind of stuff. And, it can be irritating to old farts, but I'm like, no, man, I'd much rather than be doing that, than be sitting in a room on the phone. So
one thing I like to do, my family like to do is, we used to play a lot of board games. So this kind of segues into the next
episode. Absolutely.
But so next episode, we're going to be talking about some of the board games that were popular back in the day, that we no doubt used to fill the time, kill the time. To me, I have so many good memories of spending the holidays just playing board games with the family, with friends. Still play some of those today. My family has a, 20-year Trivial Pursuit game going on between the girls and the boys.
That's awesome.
And I won't tell you who has the best record, but it's the guys. We're I think we've lost like 3 years out of all those, maybe more. I may be exaggerating, but we have won a lot.
That's awesome.
But it's fun, and it's funny because as we get married, as we married, like it was like interviews, like how are you in Trivial Pursuit? Let me ask you some questions.
You can't
how good are you
if you can't answer these top 3 questions?
Exactly. So, anyway, good stuff. But
good segue, because
more to come on that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a good way to stop this episode. So for our listeners, we would love to hear, what are some things you did on road trips? What are some things you did when you were bored and it was raining and you had no one to play with or nothing to do? What were some things that you did at school on the blacktop to pass the time? We would love to know, what did you do? Let's share with some of these younger generations the lost art of being bored, because I think it is truly a lost art that is really suffocating a lot of creativity, to be honest. So give us your best games and things that you did creatively to enjoy passing the time, and we look forward to hearing from that. And I think again, we're going to do those Mad Libs after this episode, so be prepared for that and look out for that on our Facebook. If you haven't joined us yet, join our Facebook channel, Gen X Journey, and also our Instagram and Threads and X pages. We'd love to have you. And other than that, we will listen to we will talk to everybody again with the board games of the past episode coming up next.
Awesome.
Well, take care, everybody.
See you, everybody.
The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed in the Gen X Journey podcast belong solely to the hosts and guests and do not necessarily represent the views or opinions of any entity they are associated with. The information provided is for entertainment and informational purposes only and should not be considered professional advice. Listeners are encouraged to seek the advice of qualified professionals for any specific issues they may face. The creators and contributors of this podcast make no representations as to the accuracy, completeness, or validity of any information, and will not be liable for any errors, omissions, or any losses, injuries, or damages arising from its use.